Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and you're going to want to listen to this. I'm here with Frank Calderon from Miami-Dade Solid Waste Department, and we're going to be talking about what we're going to do with the leftover Thanksgiving food, if there's anything left over. All right? So first of all, welcome and happy holidays to you.
Thanks. Likewise, Michael.
And to your son, Daniel, who's over there, who's a 11th grader where?
Florida Christian School.
Florida Christian School, who plays soccer, and you what?
Yes.
What position? A forward, all right? Great athlete, and you do well, all right? Good for you. And it's nice for Dad over here to be so proud, so congratulations to you. All right, so Thanksgiving's in a couple days. We know that everybody's got the strings that they're going to have around that turkey or in the turkey, and they're going to put it in this pan that's non-recyclable, and they're going to put it in there, and they're going to cook away. All right, so first let's talk about what the pickup for garbage on Thanksgiving. They pick it up on Thanksgiving?
Pick up on Thanksgiving like any normal day, but I warn people, or I caution people, I caution our residents, or those are to be more specific, our customers who get service from us. We always tell people, put your cart out by 7 a.m., no later than 7 a.m. Thanksgiving Day, they're going to be picking up garbage like they do any normal day. They don't take that holiday. But guess what?
Right. Come 2 o'clock.
There's no traffic.
All right.
So if you're used to the garbage truck and the truck coming down your road and thinking that you can put your cart out at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. because they don't come down the road till then, you might be in for a rude awakening.
So it's going to be there until Monday.
If you don't put it out there by 7, we can't guarantee that it's not going to be. So it's very important to get it out there by 7.
So Frank, we've been doing this for several years now.
Yes.
And so often I tell people, listen, take your cart and make sure the handle's towards the
house.
It's so ingrained in my brain. I was walking around through part of the residential area in Coconut Grove, and I almost asked my wife if she knew why I had to do that. I decided I wasn't going to make a total fool of myself, so I didn't ask her, but I wanted to ask her if she knew because I know why. Okay, but remind us why, all right? When they put it out there, the handle should face where and why?
The handle and the wheels are on the same side, so they should face towards the house. What happens is that the lid opens towards the street or towards the truck, which makes it easier to empty out the cart. If you put it the other way, it might open too early or it might open too late, and either the cart won't get emptied or it might get emptied in the wrong place, namely your front lawn. So that's why it's important to put it the right way.
And we know on Thanksgiving, the wives do a lot of stuff, all right? So do some of the husbands. But what the wife may say, hey, listen, this is a great day, all right? Before we sit down for Thanksgiving dinner, I want you to clean up all the trash that's in the yard, and I want you to take it over to one of the trash recycling centers. Are they open on Thanksgiving?
Yes, they will be open on Thanksgiving. So if you're doing last-minute cleanup around your yard, if you're going to have people at your house, you want it to look nice, so you decided to wait till Thanksgiving, or maybe that's the only time maybe you have to work the rest of the week. And that morning is going to be your only chance to spruce up a little bit and, trim bushes or whatever. Our TRCs are open regular hours. They're not going to close early or anything.
I'll be sure.
It's open until 5:30.
I won't tell my wife, but thank you for the information.
You could tell her the day after or next week.
So we know that at Thanksgiving time, there's so much waste that goes on because there's just a little bit left, for the day of and then the day after. But at some point, there's this extra amount of food that was cooked, and then we take it and then we dispose of it. Tell us about how a lot of this stuff should be disposed of.
If we encourage composting for those who, have the wherewithal to do that, we do have a series of composting workshops in partnership with UF-IFAS and with the library department. And we offer a free composting bin. But if you can't do that, if you're not, or if, there's not going to be a workshop between now and Thanksgiving for you to get a free composting bin. So, you could do it for the future maybe, but basically all of that pretty much should go in the garbage, not in the recycling.
I was talking to a government official in one of the cities, and they told us that they're putting together a composting plan. It looks like it's finally, thank you, Mayor, thank you, Commission, thank you, everybody that's paying taxes. So it looks like there's going to be some help in that arena. And there's the good part of it, but there's also the part that we care about. I'm doing whatever I can, to do that. I do want to tell you, besides on the carts, all right? Which way? When I was on that walk, I had a napkin in my pocket. And when I took it out, there were actually two. One was in my hand and the other one was on the ground. Then my wife saw me bend over and pick it up. I said, Frank, this is for you. I put it in the garbage can. Oh, my God. What is happening? It was really crazy because you realize you do what you can do. It's just this one little thing, right? And that all adds up, to that. So let's talk about there's so much grease that's produced by the fruit on Thanksgiving. And a lot of people take that and they either dump it in the garbage or first they dump it in the sink. And we already know what happens. So you're going to call your plumber and you're going to say, come on out. It's double or triple or quadruple time if you want them to come out.
Well, yeah, holiday,
Yes.
I imagine.
Yeah. And so I mentioned before that my wife and I went and got a electric composter. It's about 2.5, 3 feet tall. There's just push on thing, it opens. And there's like it looks like a half a thermostat. Yes. And there's a handle on it, and you dump your food right into it. I think within 24 or 48 hours, it's totally dehydrated. It never smells at all. And it's really, you get a code, it says, okay, it's time to empty it. And it's 10 pounds. And it actually does make the bushes grow, but do not dump that into your yard because whatever tomatoes were in there, you'll be sprouting up tomatoes all over your yard.
Unless you want to grow tomatoes.
Right,
There you go.
That's a business we could go into. All right. So we know Christmas is right around the corner. And I saw some Christmas trees already, people picking them up, all right?
Oh, yeah.
And if people look for a Christmas tree place on 122nd and Millard, it's set up it's run by some folks that have autistic kids, and it's run for that.
Right, I see in the center, yeah.
Yes, you've seen that out there. They got Christmas trees, great place to go spend your time and some of your money, and you'd be contributing to a good cause. But let's talk about all the boxes we're going to be getting from all those stores that our family and friends have been sending boxes around. What do we do with them?
Those boxes are very recyclable. If you receive service from us, just break down the boxes and put them carefully inside your blue recycling cart. We are also taking boxes that's not all, but some of our TRCs as well for those who are our customers for recycling.
Oh, no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, as I expressed before, we get these brand new boxes that are used one time, all right? And then so a lot of people throw them out. But the phenomenon that this has been occurring since the internet is so gigantic is that when we would walk in the store, we would pick up the manufacturer's box, and that's what we would have. We'd have a bag, all right? Now we get that extra box. And as careful as we are, that's how it gets shipped, all right? And so we have all this extra stuff. So really, we should be recycling that stuff whenever possible. And so if they don't want to take it to a TRC, they can put it into their blue
Recycling cart, yeah.
And whether it's a little bit or a lot, that's a really good place. And I know people will feel a lot better when that happens. We know that the county is looking for a spot for their new waste energy facility. Any public information about that yet?
I want to say that there are proposals. They're going to be accepting them. I want to say tomorrow. I believe at procurement. It is under cone of silence.
Okay.
Because they did put out a solicitation for it, and I believe that whatever the bids are received, a decision is going to be made sometime in mid-December, and it's going to be awarded presumably if everything goes according to schedule. So
this is going to be a big
as much
deal.
As I know at this point.
It's going to be a big deal. It's a lot of money to put it together. But in the last one, about 40% of our garbage trash went to that incinerator.
And yep.
And it was and that would get reduced by 90%.
Pretty much, yeah,
right?
Pretty much.
And then the rest, whatever they call that at the end,
ash,
it gets dumped at some landfill.
Well, it was right there on site. We called it the ashfill for short. It can also be called the monofill because mono.
What do you mean
item.
on site? It was right there.
Right there in Doral, yeah. Right next
the place
to
where you would
the
put
incineration. Yes.
Oh, no kidding. And that stuff gets buried.
Yes.
All right.
But because it's ash again, it's 10% of.
Yes.
So that's why it lasted so long. Had we not had that facility, that would have filled up other sites would have filled up long ago.
So one of the things we know as far as recycling and all our trash here, because we're a visitors town, we get so many visitors here, they couldn't give a hoot about that stuff. And so we have to deal with that. And we have so much construction down here, and all that stuff, either the construction material, that gets buried, or does that go through a burning process?
We don't process it ourselves, but I believe that there are facilities where they can be brought to, and they actually are able to recycle some of that material. So if I understand correctly, I don't know the full process, but I believe they can recycle some of it.
So people often wonder even though the county does not recycle plastic, other venues across the country do. So people ask me, what happens to plastic bags? So tell us, not with the county, but with other people.
Plastic bags, if they're brought in, now we can't accept them in our program, but there are places where they can be recycled. Some of the local grocery stores will take them. Plastic bags can be recycled, and we're talking not just like the grocery store bags, but like when you go to the dry cleaner, the bag that your clothes comes in. All of that, the film plastic is what it's called, and in the industry, and it can be recycled. It's a different process. I don't know, and that's something that now you've prodded my curiosity. So now I'm going to try to see. I'm sure there's a video somewhere online. Yeah, that shows you how that's done. But yeah, it can be recycled.
I was in Coconut Grove over the weekend, and they have these bus benches, if you will, or benches that are made of recycled product. It looks like 2x4s, but they're not.
Correct.
They're plastic.
Yeah, I've seen that everywhere. When my son was younger, we went with his school on a trip to Chicago, and they had the public garbage receptacles tell you, they have signs that say that they were made out of so many plastic bottles.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, as you know, Jean Marie Massey was here with her table full of recycling things. She tells me that she carries around the little blue cart filled with all this stuff. She actually carts it around in her car. God bless her. And she goes to the schools to teach the kids about recycling. And it was really incredible to see all the things that are really recyclable in homes. I don't know percentage recyclable, but maybe as this attention to recycling the old food products gets moving, that people will pay more attention. So I hope the county spends some energy in publicizing, hey, we need to recycle more. These are some of the things, and make it simple. That was the big question that people had. What can be recycled? So I try to name them, but why don't you tell us some of the things?
Sure. Paper, cart, which includes, now we're coming into holidays. I've already received a couple of catalogs by mail. Once you're done enjoying and looking at, window shopping in the catalog and maybe picking out one or two things you want or more, those are recyclable. Pretty much any junk mail, quote unquote, any advertising mail or any postcards, Christmas cards themselves, unless they've got if they play music, if they have a battery in them, then no. But they can be recycled. The gift wrapping paper, as long as it's paper and not metallic, that can be recycled. Cardboard, of course, we already talked about that. Cartons, this is the time of year where, maybe if you like juice comes in a carton, or milk, but also broth, which is used in a lot of recipes, often comes in cartons. That can be recycled. Plastic bottles are basically it, although now they're taking plastic cups, but like store plastic cups, not solo cups. Like something like at a Starbucks where you get it, or a Dunkin' where you get a coffee, an iced coffee. They are now accepting those, and paper cups as well, which is new. And metal, of course, metal cans, aluminum cans, or beverage cans, and food cans. So
let's talk a little bit about if you put with these store-bought TV dinner type of products, if it goes to the microwave to be heated up, those are not.
Those are not. No, that plastic has additives in it because of to be able to handle the heat in a microwave.
So I was reading some back. A couple of them are 3-minute burning, 5-minute. Saw one the other day. It was 7 minutes in there, full blast. All right. When I do that, I now take the food out. I put it into a bowl rather than try to fry that thing. So those things, any of that plastic stuff is not recyclable.
Not those.
Yeah. And when we see how many big companies are hiring ride services to bring food to their house, it seems as though a lot of that is not recyclable, because some are barbecue places, some have styrofoam boxes, not recyclable.
No.
Right? There's clear plastic thing like would go over cupcakes and stuff.
The clam shells,
not that
we
I would
call
know,
it.
but
Yeah,
that's what
those
I've
are
been
not,
told.
no.
All right, not recyclable, and Chinese food with the plastic that's not. Are there some venues that take that you know of?
I don't know of any places here in Miami-Dade County that will. I know that there are places where you can recycle styrofoam, for example, but not here. And that's, from what I've seen, there's only a handful of places across the country that'll take it.
So-
and only locally, pretty much.
So a couple of years ago, we just kept ordering the same styrofoam cups. Finally, I don't know if somebody here said, I'm taking all the styrofoam cups. Here's your first paper cups for free. All right. Okay. All right. And sometimes we not even aware that we're doing that. It's just because it's a habit that goes on for years and years and years. So we use the paper cups, and it works for hot coffee. They're made a little stronger.
And those can be recycled now, by the way, in our program.
Is that right?
That
Okay.
was a new addition, a new recent addition.
And people want to know, what do you mean now? So these are outside vendors that you hire, just like most of the other places throughout the country. You hire somebody who's in that business. Right?
Yes.
And they take that. So tell us about on the blue cards. They put it in the recycling truck. It goes out to some places. They go to Doral or some other place.
They go to
whatever.
transfer stations. Each vendor has their own transfer station here in Miami-Dade County, and then eventually it ends up going to Waste Management. Well, now they go by WM Inc. Their recycling facility, which they call Rooters, which is in Pembroke Pines.
So they try to separate it by paper and metal and then plastics.
Yeah.
It's separated. That must be a daunting task.
It's
all right?
it's separated primarily through the use of machine or technology. There's some hand separation, not much. Most of what the folks that work there do, as far as from what I've seen, is just remove plastic bags from the conveyor belt and other items that shouldn't be on the conveyor belt going. But once it gets on the materials get on a conveyor belt, it's incredible. They use technology to just split the
They
stuff.
put all this stuff into a compressor,
and
it
they bale
compresses
it. They don't completely compress it, but they like bale it so it's a nice square rectangle, and then they put baling wire around it.
So when they undo the baling wire, it just all at some point starts to fall out.
It falls out. Hopefully not springs out, but falls out.
So we have on some of our doors this acoustical tile. It is air pressured. It's packed. All right. So 52 pieces, 12 by 12, we got put into like this high, 52 pieces. So the other day, we got some new stuff. So I took my scissors and I opened the pack. In 15 minutes, they all blew up. They were the wrong size. Thank God Amazon said, we'll take them back. It took two 55-gallon bags.
Try to get them back inside. Yeah, wow.
We walked into the Whole Foods out here, and they took them. So that's where they suck the air out. It's really very effective, right?
Well, they do that with mattresses. They are, when I was a kid, of course, you went to buy a mattress, you had to get the full size, had to go on top of the car or whatever. Now they send you it looks like a bedroll type of thing, and
Is that right?
you open it and it just opens, and you have to let it sit a couple of days before you can actually sleep on it.
That's incredible.
It's incredible. Yeah.
All right, so could you put up that's Rachel over there who's producing the show. Rachel is also a teacher. She teaches 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders who need it the most down in Florida City. And are the kids? When are the kids off till?
Next Monday.
It's coming up in four. Okay, all right. Could you put up the address, the web address? But somebody needs to look at it. It's solid waste.
miamidade.gov/solidwaste.
And people can go on there. They can look at the different programs you offer. There's phone numbers or email address in case they have questions. Let's talk a little bit about the home chemical programs that you have and how people can find out when you have those, where they are, and what it means.
Sure. Well, we have 2 permanent centers that are open year-round. And now I don't remember. We put out a press release that mentions if they're open on Thanksgiving or not. I think they are, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, they open Wednesday through Sunday, so they're closed Mondays and Tuesdays from 9 to 5. And the 2 centers one is in West Dade or Doral, and the other one is down in South Dade. And you can bring, household chemical products, old fertilizers, pesticides, paints, old cleansers or cleaning agents or whatever, those type of things. Residential, of course, not commercial. We also started doing a couple of years ago, and we plan to do next year, and we hope to have the schedule up online shortly, a series of mobile home chemical mobile events, so that we can bring the same type of items, and then for one day they'll be at different locations, at different TRCs throughout the county. That may be more convenient. Personally, I find, because I live like in the Westchester, Kendall area, and the Doral Center is kind of a little bit easier for me to get to, especially on a Saturday or Sunday when there's less traffic. But it's still a little bit of a drive. But when they have it at the TRC closest to me, I'm talking like a 2-mile drive.
So, and people actually show up with their stuff.
Yes. This has been a success because people have stuff that they have to get rid of. And by the way, this particular service is open to all Miami-Dade County residents. You don't have to receive garbage service from us to use the service.
Okay, and that is different than going to a TRC, which is Trash Recycling Center. There's
Yes.
one in near FIU on the west side of FIU.
And they only accept certain items. Although we do have these mobile events at several of our TRCs and we'll announce the schedule before the end of the year on it for next year. But yeah, the TRCs, they accept mostly like lawn waste. Some of them accept electronics, not all. But the home chemical program does accept electronics, so it can be either at the 2 permanent centers or at one of the mobile events.
So my question to you, if somebody lives in a city, can they still bring stuff to the TRC, or is
Only if there's some cities that get full service from us. Only if you have the green cart with the county logo on it, you should be able to go to one of the TRCs without any issues.
It's a great lesson for the grandkids. This is what we do when we, all right? And I've asked this before, because we see so many, I live out west, and a lot of the big landscaping companies rent space out there. They have these big trucks. They're filled with all that landscaping stuff. Where do they take that?
They are the only exception we have as far as the TRCs, because the TRCs are strictly for residential customers. But what they can bring landscaping waste to one of our TRCs. The thing is that they have to prepay. They don't have a mechanism for accepting payment on site. They have to prepay coupons, and then like each visit they have to give up a coupon. And don't quote me on how much a coupon costs. I want to say it's in the neighborhood of 20 something, close to $30, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, they have to basically provide a coupon to show that they've paid, and then they can use the TRC to dump. And that's because they're in the neighborhoods, and it's just for them to have to go dump at one of our the disposal sites, the landfill or something like that, that would be a bit of a trek for them to have to go back and service their other customers.
And if somebody doesn't have access to web, or they get lost, they can call 311?
Yes, 311 will give the location, the address, and all that. Also, our website, we have the addresses to all of our sites listed there as well.
It's incredible how friendly those people are and how helpful they are. It's just really, you can call them and you can get them to take care of the whole thing, including on bulky waste pickup if you can't figure it out, which is, it's hard to imagine you couldn't, all right? But there was a time that I couldn't, but now it's pretty simple. You can call them up and they can set it up so somebody can come out to your house, and please don't dump your stuff out early. Just call them and get it done. So again, I live in horse country, and the commissioner out there and the Public Works that keeps the property clean.
The right of way, as
right-of-way
far as putting up signage and that sort of thing.
It's really what a big difference it's made, and people are behaving a little bit better because of it. Because when you have a trash pile, you know what people do? They take
It's a
trash.
magnet. It's a magnet.
It's really incredible, like graffiti. So sometimes people wind up with dead animals in their front yard-ish, right? And if the husband and wife says, I'm not doing anything with that dog, except for after a couple of days it gets sort of intolerable, who do they call?
Well, as long as it's in the public right of way, they can call 311, and I believe Animal Services picks it up.
I'm not suggesting that they should push it out there, But if it's out there,
If it's in the public right away, yeah, they can call 311.
and one of the great things the county does, tell us again about how they catch the guys dumping stuff out on the road.
Oh, we have several different ways, but one of, I guess, at least for me, one of my favorite ways is through cameras. They have the cameras, like trail cameras that are set up that are, they record and then they go back and look at them. But they also have several locations where they have live cameras, and they have an enforcement officer whose job is to sit there and monitor these cameras. And if they see something going on, they will dispatch the officer in that particular zone, the enforcement officer, and have them go out and, catch the people in the act or catch them as they're leaving. And they can get a citation from our officer. If the police get involved, it can, end in an arrest.
So, do we ever hear coming out of the room, gotcha?
Well, I don't know if they do that, but yeah, there have been several arrests over the years for illegal dumping.
It seems to me there's, and again, I'm only looking from the outside, but I'm not hearing too much about that. So are people dumping less stuff out on the road?
I don't know. It's a question I have to ask my enforcement folks and see
I'm really
what's going on. Maybe it's more civil. They're just catching people and giving them citations.
That's one of the things that we know. If people don't know people are getting citations or getting arrested, then there's that thing that will normally maybe slow them down or stop them. So if it's going on,
deterrent, yeah.
Just set out the press releases and get people to realize, hey, this is what's going on.
Oh, and we post it on social media. Those posts tend to get the most engagement. People go in there, yes, you got them, good.
Yeah.
Most of them cheer us on.
That's terrific. Okay, so tell us again what's open on Thanksgiving in your department and what's not.
Pretty much everything, with the sole exception of our administrative offices. The TRCs are open. The home chemical collection centers, I'm 99% sure that they are, because they're usually closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. So a lot of the holidays that fall on Mondays, for example, they're closed anyway. But I believe they're open on Thanksgiving Day and the day after, of course. The landfills, of course, the transfer stations. The one thing is we do have some commercial customers that via the access our contract to use the Medley landfill, which is owned by WM Inc., Waste Management Inc., and they're going to close at noon for Thanksgiving. So, for commercial customers who use that facility, just be aware of that. It's on our press release, which is on our website, miamidade.gov/solidwaste. But for most residents, you need to use the TRCs. You need to, your garbage is going to be picked up. All that's going to be available on Thanksgiving Day.
And so your advice for people with the green cards, put it out at 7 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day, because the guys and ladies are going to be earlier than usual.
You can put it out. I mean, I don't know, if you live in a homeowners association, if they don't let you do it the night before, but if you can do it the night before, you don't feel like waking up early, fine, I understand. I like to sleep myself. But it should be out there no later than 7 a.m. Otherwise, it might not get picked up on a Thanksgiving Day, particularly since there's going to be like almost no traffic, especially that early in the morning. Make sure it's out there by 7 a.m. Put it out there the night before if you can. So
it's been a great year. Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays.
You too.
Frank Calderon from Miami-Dade Solid Waste Department. Let's look right in the camera and say, listen, have a great time. And remember the Disney rule. When you hug someone, don't stop until they do. Have a great day. Bye.